Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer2Buzzer. Alrighty guys, so in the past couple of days, we have had a bunch of NBA developments going on, that especially concerning the Brooklyn Nets. Guys, the Nets are making a trip to the West Coast where they play teams like the Pacers, the Kings, the Suns, and of course, got to mention the Lakers and Clippers, where, as you guys can see on the screen, they pulled a 6-0 sweep without Kevin Durant even playing in any of the past 4 games. Now, guys, the most notable wins here are, of course, that 109-98 win against the Lakers and that 112-108 win against the Clippers. Guys, the Nets, even without Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and that squad leading the pack, what is this? Is this past 6 games changing our thoughts about these Brooklyn Nets, and are they proving a bunch of people wrong?
Yeah, 100%. I think the Nets, I didn't think that it was going to work too well, at least the first year. But I mean, they've been on a roll, and that too without their best player. Obviously, I don't think they should have won last night with that garbage foul call on Kawhi, but it is what it is. They beat the Lakers, even though it was without AD. But yeah, they've been on a roll, and I don't expect them to slow down anytime soon.
I feel like when people, all these doubters, right, they were doubting like if it was going to work with those three superstars, considering they're all ball dominant players. But I feel like, once we saw that they were fine, that the chemistry was good between them and they knew how to work with each other on the court. I think like people's doubts are going away now because obviously these are three amazing players. And, beating teams like the Lakers, Clippers, I feel like that's only proving how good they really are. So I think that, I see the Sixers going to come out of the East, but I really do see this if the Nets come out of the East.
I don't think the 6 game stretch really proves anything in terms of all three of them playing together well. Kevin Durant didn't play. This is a work product of Harden and Kyrie's team chemistry. As we saw when all three of them were in the lineup together, they weren't this good. Their team was average. They'd win some, they'd lose some, right? If you add Kevin Durant to a rotation, like you could be doing addition by subtraction by addition. So they could be adding Kevin Durant to the floor. It could cause spacing problems. It could be causing not enough players getting the ball at a time. So I don't think this really proves anything in terms of Nets being a good team with all three of them on the floor together. I think it shows that Harden and Kyrie, they can pick up the load and actually win a lot of games together, and they might not need Kevin Durant moving forward if they do decide to part ways or trade him for some depth. Obviously, Kevin Durant's a great player, but maybe they have to make the best decision for their team. As for the Lakers game, they didn't have Anthony Davis, so I don't really know if that says much about that game. And for the Clippers Nets, 4 point difference. We know in 7 game series, 4 points can go either way for each team. So I don't know. I'm ready to say this Nets team is as amazing as everyone else is saying.
Exactly. I'll shoot the nail on the head. For sure, a 6 game in the West is pretty notable. You got to give him credit. But KD not playing those final 4 games and the wins against the big name teams like the Lakers and the Clippers coming against in sort of differentiating fashion. The Lakers without AD, LeBron just balling out there. I think we got to wait and to see the whole sample, right? You're going to see LeBron, like Kyrie said at the end of the game, he wants to see a fully healthy team go against a fully healthy Nets team. I think that's when we can say, make a decision on something. The Clippers game, that final call, that was a total, like already said, total wrong call. James Harden initiated the contact first, but the rest didn't call it, but they called it in Kawhi. This one time we'll give Kawhi the benefit of the doubt and never again. Other than that, the Nets for sure, I had them go on to the East, and I still do. I think they're still a heck of a team, but something interesting which this past 6 games has proven is that the Nets can actually play a stellar game by having 2 of the 3 superstars in. Sure, if it's the final fourth quarter, you got 2 minutes left, you got all 3 of these guys in. But I think that the Nets, Steve Nash can sort of start making a game plan where he puts 2, like James Harden and Kyrie and KD in throughout the games. And I feel like that might work better because as a team, playing with Joe Harris, DeAndre Jordan, they are spacing out better. Their defensive efficiency is much more better, and they're still getting the job done on the offensive side of the ball. So these Nets, for sure, proving some people wrong, but only time will tell if they can do it against fully loaded teams. Alrighty, guys. Well, those are our thoughts on the Brooklyn Nets being on a 6-0 streak against the West, guys. As always, be sure to like button, subscribe, and comment down below. Do you think this Nets team is the real deal now? Guys, take care. Catch you guys on the next one. See you guys.